Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a sort of review of a game in a while, and I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be discussed regarding last night's performance against Sporting, and that is what we're going to be talking about in this video. It's kind of weird that I decided to film this after we lost, but I feel like a lot of stuff is going, like, there's just a lot of stuff going on, especially within the Twitter sphere, should we call it, and just social media in general. I don't want to get into like the bad side of like things too much, but what I've noticed is there's just a lot of overreaction, a lot of sometimes toxicity, and yeah. So basically last night, normally after a game, even if it's like a loss, draw, whatever the result is, I'm always on Twitter, Instagram, looking at people, what they're saying about the game. And last night I was like, you know what, I'm gonna not, because I knew every time I've done it before, there's always been a sort of overreaction. And I get it, like emotions are high after a result, whatever, but I try and sit back and take a look at the bigger picture. I'll try to. And yeah, so we are going to be talking about Sporting versus Tottenham, which ended up Tottenham losing 2-0 in stoppage time. Yep. And we're going to get into it. I haven't like written anything down, so I'm literally just going things off the top of my head. So if I forget anything major, then comment it down below. But I'm going to try and work my way through the whole game itself, and like just talk about individual players, talk about Conte, talk about, you know, the reaction afterwards. I feel like that's important. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, and then we go with the lineup. So obviously I'm kind of surprised Son was starting again. I'd say that I was thinking Kulu, what he'd done against Marseille, he deserved to come in and start. But like I wasn't like mad, if you know what I mean. Like I was a bit not disappointed, but kind of surprised that Conte didn't choose to put Son on the bench and put Kulu in from the start. Whether he did that or not, would that change the result? I don't know. But I do think Kulusevski, from his cameo against Marseille, because he completely changed the game when he came on. Obviously the red card also changed it, but I think we never really looked that threatening until Kulu came on. So I was expecting him to start. The fact that Son was still starting, I get why Conte is choosing to play him. He wants to play him into form. But after this game, I just think you got to take him out. And I hate saying it because it's Son, do you know what I mean? And you'd never, ever, bar this season, you'd think people would be upset that Son is starting. And then obviously Davies came off a long way. Davies, it wasn't great from Davies, let's be honest. I mean, he didn't do too much wrong, but we missed what long way brings, you know, when he's able to pass the ball into that midfield and like step forward a bit. Davies just, I mean, he got forward, but it was a bit ineffective. I think that's the only change from the Marseille game. That, yeah. Other than that, I was happy with the team, you know. Obviously Lewis in goal, you're not going to complain about that. The Darren Merrow, you'd think they're going to play. The midfield, obviously Højbjerg and Bentancur, that is the two that Conte likes, and it's going to take time for like Basuma, Skip to like break into that. And I need speaking on this, when are we going to see Skip play? He's back from his injury, he's on the bench. Like, can we see Skip play? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously I know as Højbjerg and Bentancur is what Conte likes, and he likes that two pairing. And when Basuma was in there, I think when Basuma got that like early yellow card that sort of messed up his performance against, who was it? I can't remember. But I think that's, and then Conte likes that, the pivot of them two. But I think Basuma and Skip deserve more chances to play. Whether it is just coming as a sub, do you know what I mean? Because if it's not working, then like say last night's game, for instance, it's not really working after 10 minutes, you would make some subs, but that's not what happened. But yeah, other than that, I was alright with the lineup. Son, you can debate about it. I wasn't like upset, just kind of surprised that he was starting again. We go in like the game, the first half, Tottenham started well, which we can't say that we've done that too often this season. We started well, we some positionable. Then Sporting sort of got into it, and they got into this in the game. They sort of took charge of that, and I don't know what we were doing. We like pressing, which we don't normally do. We don't normally like press like that. But our like first touches were off. Kane, I don't know what he was doing the whole game. Some passes he pulled off. Other than that, I just don't know. I don't understand that performance from Kane. I do, because he was just constantly losing the ball, and I don't even know, to be honest. Like, I was watching it, I was like, what the heck is happening? What is happening here? Like, what? Yeah. Lloris kept us in the game. Lloris, to me, definitely was man of the match. He did not deserve to be on the losing side. The amount of saves he made in that game, oh my god. And he was brilliant all night. Like, he couldn't have done anything about the 2 goals. He was outstanding. But yeah, the first half, I don't know what was happening. And we just wasn't flowing, and we'd get the ball, but it would be like really slow. Like, what? Can someone explain to me why whenever Spurs are in possession, most of the time we're going at like a snail's pace? Can anyone explain to me why that is? Because you're not going to score a goal by going slow, because they read what you're doing, and then they can like get in position to like defend it, and it's not effective. You've seen in other like performances, when we play the ball fast and quick and do these like one touch pass, blah blah blah, you know what I mean, we create chances. And just for some reason, whenever we're in possession, it's always slow build up. It's not going to work. It hasn't worked. It's not going to work. So I don't understand why it's carrying on. Right. So the first half, what even happened in the first half? I can't think of one chance we had, really. I mean, Emerson maybe, I think, or maybe it was that second half, I don't know. But Edwards, at the end of like the first half, he did like, dribble, blah, blah, and Lloris made a great save. Kept us in it. Moving into the second half. Now, the second half started, we were the better side, we were doing what we should have been doing, pressing, winning the ball back, corners, all that. But we weren't really creating much, you would have to say. I think Emerson, Kane did Kane have a short goal wide with Charlison? Like, we scored a goal, but it was offside. That is another thing. Our players kept being offside. Annoying. Yeah. And then you're thinking, as the game's going on, not many people are getting clear-cut chances. The game is coming to an end. Just take the point and go home. And that's what it looked like was going to happen. It looked like it was going to finish a 0-0. Then 90th minute comes along. Sporting have a shot. Conte. Yeah, Conte saved it. No. Lloris made a brilliant save, which ended up being in the corner. Now the corner. I don't think we could have done anything about it. It was just a brilliant corner, and yeah, that was it. There was nothing we could have done about that. Frustrating. Really frustrating. After all that, we end up conceding in stoppage time. But it doesn't stop there. If you saw it. And then you can see we're like we're going to try to get an equaliser. There was like still like 2-ish minutes left, maybe like over 3 minutes. We lose possession of the ball. I don't know what's going on. Emerson was not defending well, and then we ended up conceding the second. And that was it. That was game over. That, okay, could have come away with a point. We ended up losing. So obviously Conte out of the game said that Tottenham were just pushing for a win, you know, the whole game, which I guess is surprising to some people because, like, normally, you know, oh, probably not going to win this, so we just make sure we don't lose. But that did not happen. We ended up losing 2-0, and I'd say the best performances on the pitch, Lloris, man of the match for me, definitely, and Kulusevski when he came on. Other than that, I think everyone else was just average, poor. First half, I said Emerson was playing well. I mean, he was, to be fair to him. But then the second half performance, you just dragged it down. So I'm not gonna say, yeah. Everyone else, I don't get it. Even Perisic, okay, Perisic, you know he can cross the ball. What was his crosses today? What were they? He put in one good ball, but no one, like, Kane almost got there, but just not quite. But other than that, even he was off it. Kane was off it majorly, like, that's probably Kane's worst performance of the season. Hoybert misplaced passes. Even Bentancur, I don't know. Emerson, we don't need to go too deep into Emerson. Richarlison was trying. You could see that he was definitely trying. Son, it's not gonna happen for him at the moment. Like, I don't know what's going on with Son. But I do think Conte will put him on the bench for Leicester, and I think that's the right thing. I think Kulusevski, you can see as soon as he comes on, he brings quality. He brings more urgency, and the team step up a bit, which is weird. It's like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's frustrating. It's annoying, and yeah. But let's. And my reaction to the game, like, I'm frustrated, annoyed whilst the game is happening. Once the game is finished, I let it go. I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. It's our first loss of the season. It's bad. It's gonna happen at some point. Our performances have not been good enough in most games, and it's bound to happen at some point. It's one Champions game we've lost, but it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, this game we should be winning. We have more than enough quality to win it. But we need to put that performance on the pitch, and performances just have not been good enough. Players, I mean, you're fighting for your place, and you're putting in performances like that. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and it's just, I don't know. Now, moving into the overreaction. Now, when I mean, like, overreaction, I mean people be like, oh, we're gonna get to a 4. We're, you know, we're shit, we're this, that, whatever. And I'm just like, it's one loss. Like, it's our first loss of the season. We hadn't lost since April. If you put that into, like, you need to look at the bigger picture. You need to put everything into context. It's our first loss since April against Brighton. Now, you can say our performances have not been good enough. You can say that we need to perform better, that we can perform better, which is obviously true. But what I don't agree with is, like, the over reaction to, like, oh, you know, and I guess it is emotions on that. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't like to, like, during the game, fine, you can be, like, frustrated, it's gonna happen, you end up conceding in the last few minutes, and it's like, oh. But, like, afterwards, I'm just like, I'm not gonna rant and rave, because what's that gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Like, the players know themselves that performance was not good enough. Like, Conte knows it, everyone's gonna know it. No, like, the only, I think, 2 players that can hold their head up high is Lloris and Kulusevski. Other than that, everyone else needs to look at themselves, especially Son. I do feel sorry for Son, like, and I'm not just saying it because it's Son, but I just think something's going on, and whatever it is, I'm sure he's gonna be back. Like, there's no way he's not gonna, you know, score some goals this season. But everyone else, they just need to look at themselves and think, you know, that performances need to improve. I don't know why they're so lacklustre, and there's no really much urgency, and it's just frustrating. But when that happens, and I'm just like, I'm not going to rant and rave about it. I'm not going to do that. Maybe that's just me trying to be a little bit more optimistic than I usually am. But I just think I had to avoid Twitter last night because I knew I was going to see a bunch of stuff and it's going to end up making me feel worse. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go on Twitter tonight. I'm going to forget about it. And to be honest, I ordered a takeaway and I just eat my sorrows. So what I do is like comfort eating. But yeah, after like this feeling how I am now, I'm not angry. I'm annoyed still slightly, frustrated obviously, but I'm not feeling like, oh, it's the end of the world, oh, season's over. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be one of those type of fans. I guess what they feel in the moment is what they feel in the moment, and I'm not going to argue against what they feel in the moment. But I just get sick of seeing the reaction. Like, it's oh my god, it's our first loss of the season. We've lost one game. One game we've lost, bar it be against Sporting and the game we should have won. But do you know what I mean? It's one loss. And the way I see it, we can still get out of the group. We can still go far in the Champions League. We're where we are in the table in the Premier League. Like, we've got points on the board. Like, yes, our performance has not been good enough. I can agree with that. And I can agree that it could be a bit worrying at the fact that they're not getting better. But when you look at the bigger picture, we're not in a bad position. Do you know what I mean? We're like, what? We're second in the group, same points as Marseille, third, something like that. So the overreaction just doesn't really add up. And maybe people would feel like that last night, and then this morning they'll feel like it was no need to panic. It's just, you know, it is what it is. I feel like a major part is creativity that we are missing. And I feel like the wing backs need to do more. Against Leicester, I don't want Emerson starting. Give Spence a chance, put Doherty back in. Just don't play Emerson. If you want to rotate, then rotate. And Son needs to be on the bench. I feel like he's been given enough games to sort of play into form. It's not happened yet, so take him out, and hopefully that will like help. And yeah. Now let's speak about Conte. People are mad about Conte and about him not rotating enough, his subs, whatever. Which I can agree with last night. I definitely think subs should be made sooner. Kulusevski should have started. I definitely would put Longley back in for the Leicester game because Davis did not perform well enough to earn a start. Whether Conte, you know, does that or whatnot, I do not know. I do think he's going to stick with Højbjerg and Bentancur. That's fine. But maybe give a skip a chance, Basuma, maybe, because if they're not going to get game time, then I don't see what the point is. But with Conte, obviously after the game, he wasn't like angry, do you know what I mean? Like, he knows we can perform better, the players know they can perform better, and we need to improve. And that's honestly, like, we know that already. And at the end of the day, it is only one loss, and it's not what is that word? Catastrophoric? Is that, am I using that right? I do not know. But what's the word? It's not a catastrophe. It's not a oh my god. It's not a oh my god. It's not a catastrophe. Oh god, I can't speak. But you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not. That game is not going to be like a defilement of our season. Do you know what I mean? We can still get out of the group. We can still, you know, win our last whatever games they are. And is it 4 more games? Is it 4 more games? Yeah, I think it's 4 more games. Like, we can still do that. I mean, Liverpool lost against Napoli. They got battered 4-1. Chelsea lost 1-0 against Dynamo Zagreb. You know what I mean? So it's not like one loss and then everything's over. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can improve. We watch back the game, see what you did wrong, and move on. But all in all, a bad result. I would say we probably could have deserved a draw. Didn't deserve to win, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so those are my thoughts regarding the game last night, the overreaction, Conte, and yeah, I'm still, you know, on a downer about the game because it's like we lost. I'm not going to be happy, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm on a level where I'm like, it's happened now. There's no point worrying about it, no point dwelling on the fact that we lost. It's one loss. You're going to lose games in a season. That's going to happen. We just need to make sure that we improve our performances and perform better. So, going into... Let's talk about Leicester. So this is sort of like a review of the game last night, but then we're also going to discuss a bit of Leicester. So the team that I want to see against Leicester: Lloris, Romero, Dyer, Longley, Perisic, although I think Sessegnon might start, I don't know. Either Perisic or Sessegnon, whatever, don't mind. Either Spencer or Doherty. I don't want to see Emerson starting. Not after last night, so no. The midfield: Højbjerg and Bentancur. If they were the two that Conte goes with, I wouldn't be mad. It would be nice to see Skip or Suma have a chance, but we'll see. I do think there's going to be major rotation from what we saw last night. I do think it's going to be massive rotation, whatever positions, I don't know. But I do think there is going to be. Now, Son on the bench for Leicester. Kulusevski in, Richarlison and Kane. That is the team I want to see against Leicester on Saturday. If Son starts again, believe you me, I will be mad. I will. Because as much as I love Son, as much as a world-class player is, he's out of form, and he's not playing to form. He's had loads of games to try and get that, and I feel like Kulusevski is being, now it'll just be the wrong decision not to play Kulusevski. So take Son out. And what a player to bring off the benches as well. Like, I do think taking him out of the starting lineup will help him in the end. So let's hope that happens. But yeah, so those are my thoughts regarding, you know, the game against Sporting, what I want to see against Leicester. Let me know down below what you thought of last night's game and what lineup you want to see against Leicester. But there's no need to, you know, have the overreaction. There's no need to get ahead of ourselves. It's gonna be a long season. My expectations before the season was top 4 and a trophy. At this point now, my expectations are still top 4 and a trophy. I still think it's possible, so I'm not gonna get worked up if I still think that we can still achieve that at the end of the season. So there we have it, guys. That is my review, kind of, / whatever this is, a long ramble basically. If you wanted me to do more of these like reviews after the game, I will do so. It's just sometimes I like to forget about the game after it's finished, when it's a loss, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'll see you guys very soon with a brand new video. I think the next one's gonna be a Q&A, and then we're gonna have a live watch along for the Leicester game, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, let's just hope for better performances. Come on, you Spurs. Guys, obviously I finished filming that reaction video about the game last night. And in the midst of like eating my lunch and stuff, I've seen some things on Twitter from like reports saying that Conte toured his players at full time, that he brought the training session forward to 11 AM because of the defeat. And you know what? I'm glad, you know, because I am, like, honestly, hopefully we'll see some changes, whether that's regarding the team selection from Conte. But the players who get picked need to switch up. They need to switch up fast, because we can't get into this routine of just having this sort of lack of intensity, lack of, not effort, I wouldn't say effort, but like lack of creating chances. We need more creativity, and this is annoying. Obviously Perisic on the whole is a massive upgrade on what we had last season. Obviously Sessegnon, I'm not going to include him because he didn't play last night, so I can't really get on his back or anything. But hopefully Conte uses this as, and hopefully this is like the wake-up call that we've needed, because we've got to see an improvement against Leicester, and if we do, then you'll be like, okay, so we're going to be on the right track. Luckily recently we have been getting the points, so it's not, you know, terrible. But I actually wonder what he exactly said to the players. I wouldn't want to be in there. Well, not in there, but I'll be interested. It'd be interesting. Obviously, that's going to stay behind closed doors, like exactly what was said. But hopefully, players listen, and we will see a much improved performance against Leicester. I'm not expecting it to be like a Man City type performance, but if we can just see some type of like rhythm, some flow with our passing, much better passing, more creation, more creating chances, goals, just everything. But yeah. But yeah, I just want to talk about that because that's been came out and I thought interesting. But I'm pleased. You know what? Because they can't carry on performing like they have. And I can, you know, 1 or 2 games you can be like, okay, you haven't played at your best, but you've got some points. But I definitely think that defeat last night is what we needed. It's like a wake-up call to as you can't always play badly and win or get like a result. So I definitely feel like a loss, as much as I'm like, shouldn't have happened, we needed it. And hopefully this way we can kick on and, you know, put last night's performance behind us and just move on with the season, move on to Leicester, and then it's the international break, isn't it? And then we don't have a game until isn't it Arsenal our next after? Yeah, I think so. So we have like a 2-week break, which I'm not mad about, to be honest. Hopefully once we get Leicester out the way, hopefully we pick up the 3 points, you know what I mean? And then we see what happens in that international break. Depends who gets picked for England and stuff. I'll probably be like Kane and hopefully Dyer because he deserves it. But yeah. But yeah, I was just eating my lunch. I had a button and this is like literally my favourite cheese. Other than halloumi, which I've gone to like more. Balls. It's this cranberry cheese. Like I used to always have it at Christmas, but then they said all year round. So I'm like, why not get more? Do you know what I mean? So I've been having that. And I got my Dr. Pepper. But basically, yeah, that's basically, I just wanted to add this in because I didn't want to do like a whole different video, but I'll just add this at the end. But yeah, I don't know how to feel. Like, I'm nervous about the game against Leicester just because I don't know what we're going to see. If the team selection is going to change or whatever, and if hopefully it does. But we'll see what happens. Let me know down your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you think. And I will be back with a new video very, very soon. Bye, guys.